pay attention at times. So if we do pay attention, what is an intellectual property? Intellectual property. These ideas, okay? Right? This is ideas. Okay. You are thinking, are you thinking of something else? Alright. Of course, you were attempting to take that direction. You were attempting to take that direction. Though you never got into that direction for the past. At least probably that's where you were thinking before. Basically, a person can sit down here and have an idea to create something that has never existed before. Right? Something that has never existed before. So, that one, at the end of the day, you create that thing and you are successful. And you will find out that there is no any other person who has ever created that thing. It is your creation. It is your idea from it is your mental idea. It is your innovation. That innovation is now what we call an intellectual property. It's your property now because nobody else has ever thought of it, has never created that one. You just created it from scratch, from your head, from your intellect. So it's an intellectual. It is coming from your intellect. Therefore, it is an intellectual creation. Now, since it is you who created it, it is your property. So, for somebody to use it, at least they have to get your permission. So, your creations are always, there are laws that will always protect your creations, your inventions of the intellectual property. They need to be protected. And if someone is using your idea to do his own thing without your consent or without your permission, that person can be prosecuted. But now, with the coming in of free trade agreements, it is becoming difficult for this intellectual property to be protected. So, why? Because the laws are not strictly followed. They are not strictly followed. Intellectual property. We had this boy when we were in college. This boy was from Lesotho. Very small, and that guy was like small in stature. He was very short and very small like this, but very intelligent. So it is said in Lesotho, when you write final exams like secondary school leaving certificate, the way we do here, we are graded according to points, using points, right? So it's a 1 point, 2 points, whatever. So here, when somebody scores 6 points, is considered to be a genius, very intelligent. So in Lesotho, they also do the same thing. So I heard this boy had scored 6 points plus. 6 points plus. When you're saying 6 points plus is 6 points is McGregor. Today, of course, 1 plus. 1 with a star. Not just a 1, but 1 with a star. So it's like 6 points plus. So this boy was very intelligent. So in college, he was pursuing a certain chemistry, I think a certain science subject. Now, each time we go to his room where he was staying, you will see him probably for 1 hour, like for 1 hour. There's a bucket of water in front of him, probably based in Mumbai, not in my total cabbage. You know, the question, like a piece of soap, or we just sit like this. Maybe even 1 hour. You come here, you talk with him, he will not even respond to you. Then, after how we know God is a free time, me, I want to be an innovator, and I will try my best to protect my intellectual, because what I'm trying to create here is an intellectual property. What are you doing here? No, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that I will invent something. So anyway, after some time, he graduated. I heard he went to some other university in South Africa. We call it Stellenbosch. That one of those expensive universities. There I heard he also excelled. He invented something, I've just forgotten it scientifically. He invented something and he relocated to the UK. As you speak, he's in the UK. But he's a young man. Now he's in his 20s. You know, I think he's 26, 27, somewhere around there. But very intelligent. So they said he invented something. And he he was trying so hard to make sure that he protects his invention. So far, I don't know what invention is that one or whatever. But that is an intellectual property. So, with intellectual property, if you are going elsewhere to do your operations there, maybe expanding your businesses to some other places, there it is always difficult for the laws of that probably that country to protect your property or to protect your invention. So that's the disadvantage of this whole thing. So you cannot completely safeguard it. It is always very, very difficult. So the laws.
I have a question on that.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe let me give an example on how the Duat KFC restaurant.
Oh yeah.
They said that the recipe was tested on by them, right?
Yeah.
So maybe will they experience that other countries like Canada having the same recipe as them? Are they free to prosecute them?
According to the laws, they are at liberty to prosecute them. Why? Because in Malawi here, if you want to open a franchise, you always get permission from them. You discuss with them, right? So, upon the terms and conditions of your contract in there, they give you the recipe or the formula, so that it should be. But now, on the terms and conditions, there are always those clauses that will always strictly say, you do not have to transfer this formula to some other person on the third party. It's just between you and us. If you have found that you have done this, it's like you have contravened the terms of the contract. It's either the contract can be terminated or any other thing can happen. Right? That's what they say. Meaning to say, if there is any other person who is in the same industry and has been found to be having the same formula, these people, the KFC guys, they are at liberty to sue this person or to prosecute this person. But as we are saying, it is not that easy. People are doing that actually because the laws are not strictly being enforced. But due to the laws that govern protection of intellectual property, patents and all, these people, they have every right to sue this other person. But to prove themselves is not even always easy. Because, let's look at it. Now those people they are all our own people. They do what and they know my special business and they talk about the government who also found that we just have ndio anapata mtu wait bila wewe kufanya vile kwa KFC. Guys, watakuwa mzao ni so forth. So but if that one can be discovered and the KFC guys have discovered, they have every right to sue these ones. But practically it's becoming very difficult. It's becoming very difficult. In many countries, some countries, I'm not so sure about South Africa, but I think in South Africa those things are also happening. And some are, even in Dubai, UAE, and those other countries. There are companies that are producing materials or items similar to those that are produced in the UK. For example, they design shoes or clothing. We have Timberland, for example. We have Timberland, we have whatever those Gucci and all that. There are companies in those countries, they are also producing the same. Of course, they produce Mobisa and they release the products on the market. It is always very difficult even for you to notice that this is fake, this is original, right? Even those ones, the original, the inventors of that one, the patent owners, they know that. I'm not talking about Timberland, but this is not ours. No, but this is not ours. Of course, they can always talk with the authorities of that particular country. But even for the authorities to apprehend these people, so that those ones to prove their case is always very difficult. So the issue of intellectual property, the issue of the protection of patents is always very difficult. But to answer the question, the other ones are at liberty to prosecute these ones. But it's not always very practical. So another good example of this situation of theft of intellectual property is what happened with some mobile phone or producers of some gadgets like these ones. Basically, the original inventors of this thing were people from the West, the Germans, I think, the Americans, and whoever in the West, before the Eastern guys took over. But now, what happens is that the Eastern guys were very clever and active when it comes to making the components, manufacturing of the components, especially the Koreans. Now, the Chinese at the same time also, and even the Japanese. So, what happened? Those Western guys, they used to use the Easterners to produce the components on their behalf. Why? Because in the East, the cost of production is lower and cheaper. So it was cheaper for these Western guys to produce their components in the East. In the process, the Easterners, they started now getting the formulas. Kuli awatu asema kwa mobile phone. Niketi mambo hapa ndio tunapata tunaona ndio maana tunasikia. Kumewa kufundika asema kuli what else do they include? They include ABCD, the software and everything. At the end of the day, those guys they took over. So in the process, at first we had mobile phones like what we call Sony, Ericsson, whatever. I don't know. I think those ones were manufactured in the West, but eventually the technology went to the East. That was the first way of intellectual property, and it became difficult for those in the West to take these ones to task. This is how these ones, the Easterners started producing this other phone, what we call it, Huawei, that one. They say that one they copied from iPhone, and the iPhone is from the US. But because those guys, they have their operations in the East, they depend on the Easterners to produce some components. The Easterners, they store whatever technology was used to manufacture iPhone. They started manufacturing their own, rivaling the iPhone, making it difficult for iPhone to do better in the East, and of course, world over. So, it is because of the weaknesses of the laws to control these ones. Okay, we have taken much time on this one. Another disadvantage of this one is the crowding out of domestic industries. The crowding out of domestic industries. Now, what happens? In mostly most less developed economies, for example, the that of Malawi, most of the things that we do here, okay, we can say our economy, like that of Malawi, is still based on primary industries. We are dependent on primary industries. We are yet to grow. So we find that we are dependent on agriculture, and of course, agriculture at a subsistence level, at a very low level. We are not up to that commercial level. Now, if we have a free market situation, it means we are free to compete with even large-scale farmers, commercial farmers from elsewhere. They are at liberty to compete with us. The chances are we cannot compete with them and succeed. End result, our agricultural sector is dying or cannot withstand the heat. End result, we are being overpowered and overcrowded by those stronger ones. This is the reason why agriculture is there to provide food to the population. Our market should be filled with food. The shops, the retailers, they have to be filled with foodstuffs. Those foodstuffs are coming from farmers, and our farmers are supposed to do that. But now, what do we see? What we see is a different case altogether. The food outlets are flooded by food items from elsewhere, from those commercial farmers. Those big farmers are the ones who are now crowding our market, thereby dwarfing our small farmers, and of course, in the process, just killing them altogether. So, the small family farms can't compete with subsidized businesses in developing countries. That's what they're saying. What is the result? As a result, they lose, that is those small farms, they lose their farms and must look for work in cities and urban areas. Now, what happens when those people have lost their farms because they are not getting any benefits from those small farm states, since the market is dominated by rich farms or rich farmers from elsewhere, they say they can abandon and relocate to urban areas or to the cities. Now, when we overcrowd the cities, what else comes into play? It is unemployment. Because everybody is flocking into the city. Who's going to employ you there? There is unemployment. Unemployment leads into poverty. And poverty leads into crime. You see? As we speak, the media is full of news related to rising crimes in urban areas, especially Atlanta. As we speak, people are talking about street kids, this and that, people are being attacked. And of course now, it is becoming a serious problem in Atlanta. People are being attacked, even during the day, those ones. Now we find that part of it is due to poverty, unemployment and poverty. There's this other guy who was narrating the story. The guy is on the base, so he had gone to the south to do some other things there. In the process, he was attacked. Then, in his narration, he said, I mistook these boys from those of Rio, because in Rio, people are a bit more polite and like in Atlanta, but I never knew this. That's what he said, right? So, he met those people who attacked him. At first, he thought maybe they would be a bit softer to him, as it is the case with those in Rio. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So they attacked him. They could almost kill him, but they did that to him. So, that one alone, by mentioning, I thought they were like those in Rio. According to him, those in Rio are a bit polite as compared to those ones, right? Okay. Then I was thinking aloud on that point. I was like, okay, but now what is happening? There are ever-growing economic disparities in our country. There are ever-growing economic disparities. The richer are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. Apart from that, there is what we call a deliberate economic imbalance that is being created by the government as we speak. And we should take a closer observation on this one. A deliberate economic imbalance created by the government. Why is this? What is happening? We have our urban centers around the country. We have Longmeni here, we have of course we have Mzuzu. And in the south we have maybe Zomba, Mango, those small towns. Those ones, they are all the economic hubs of those regions. They are economic hubs of those regions. Let's say people in the north, they always say, let us go and stay in Mzuzu, because that is another area. Think about the business stuff in eastern region, people they always say, no, let's go and stay in Mango, and so on and so forth. That one creates what we call economic balance, the economic balances. And for that, they do not have to depend on one area to be taken for. Or one person to run into much data. That is the balance of the national economy, the existence of those urban centers across the country. But now, the past few years, the government has embarked on a deliberate policy to make sure that everything is centered here in the zone. So, in some regions, things are being transferred to the center coming here. It's like now we're becoming one of those most important urban centers, unlike the rest. Because of that, some towns are dying. Literally dying. For example, if you go to Zomba, the town is dying completely. There's nothing you can do there. You can't just come down to Zone. There's nothing you can do because there are no jobs, there's no money, nothing. Things are transferred there over here. Blanda, the same thing, it is also dying. If you go Blanda, why? Because most of the things have moved there. Even business players are saying, Blanda is very credible. Because up to date, the biggest employer in Malawi here, the biggest money creator in Malawi is still the government. So if all the government institutions, they are being concentrated in one area, it means it is only that one area that will have economic vibrancy, unlike the rest. So the rest, if the poverty will still be escalating. So as we speak, in those areas, poverty is escalating rapidly. Why? Because there is nothing that is happening there, and the government is playing a blind eye on the same. That they are creating an economic imbalance, they don't know. So the crime levels that are happening in that side, like in Blanta, are as a result of poverty. Now, what will happen? Those people will be followed where money is. So the crime levels that people are crying out that side, they will still follow us this side. So this guy who was saying, I know I thought people in Blanta are just like in Israel, because in Israel they are being polite. That kind of observation was right, but the status quo will change very soon. those high levels of crime, they'll come here. Why? Because people will be throwing money. So if you people were staying in here peacefully, saying, no, at least here it is relatively calm, his crime is here, but at least it is relatively calm, and night is bad and elsewhere, that status is going to change. And people will be saying, you don't get it for food, right? We are also panicked or whatever. Why? Because once that creates poverty, there is an economic imbalance. They will be in some money, everybody will be running towards that area. And the place here will be very different. In the next 20 years or so, this will go here, life will be damn expensive in everything. Because now, see, I'm not going to damn as well. So since everything is concentrated here, whether number accommodation, decent accommodation will be a very big challenge. Traffic will be the biggest challenge. Stress delivery when it comes to management will be a very big challenge. Crime will be a very big challenge in the next 20 or 30 years. And 30 years is going to start like disaster. And this city is going to be very big, but very big difficult to stay. Because of those challenges that are there. So anyway, ukoko tinangulusa kumano timakamba zona kuti chifukwa cha free trade agreement mwapizona kuti mumapangidwa overpower ndi anthu amene ali ndi mphamvu zambiri. Mwalo mwake inyuma ujelezano chichi timapizona kuti timafamu dano tikufa pasanamulike tinambire kuti akumuna zaiti itika ipeza mmenemu. Another challenge is poor working conditions. Multinational companies may outsource jobs to emerging market countries without adequate labor protections. As a result, women and children are often subjected to grueling factory jobs in substandard conditions. This is the case with the Chinese employers, even the Indians. We always hear of these cases. The coming of these ones, these people, they do not regard working conditions or rights of workers that much. They do not regard them. So, what these people do, their activities are associated with exploitation. We hear stories of, and so on and so forth. This is another thing that is coming due to free flow of trade and its disadvantage. Even those major multinationals, let's say Shoprite, we have heard of grievances from workers at Shoprite that no, we get low pay, but even if when you try to protest, what we do here is we are making resistance. We try to protest, but the response is probably firing. They always fire you. So there's no protection. And even the government themselves are not always willing to protect their people. Why? Probably those that are big multinationals and they have fat pockets, they always corrupt and bribe whoever is responsible. And at the end of the day, the populations are always exploited. And of course, those that are exploiters, they exploit you. They take advantage of your poverty to get whatever they want to get. So they don't fear anybody because they know that the government can't do anything. So poor working conditions as a disadvantage. Another disadvantage is reduced tax revenue. Reduced tax revenue. That's another disadvantage. Now, how is the revenue reduced? They say many small economies. So when you're saying economy, we are talking about a country like Malawi. Malawi is an economy on its own. It can be a small economy, of course, it's a small economy, a middle-income economy, or whatever. Here, they say many small economies struggle to replace revenue lost from imports and tariffs and fees. If you have a Malawi, Tima Kubiona, kuti tikaenda muzonisa dziko latuli ndikuti misongo zina kama nyingine including antagila amati export zinthu kamuna ita import zinthu timareve zimene timatarifu zimene zimene timatithandiza kuponya mikopo ya ndalama kula ndi dziko latuli ziyenda. But now with the removal of such taxes due to what we call free trade, what happens? We lose out such revenues and it becomes challenging and difficult for us to always survive. you want to reduce the tax revenue. And I think that one, is what it means. Ngani na tutuma dola kisongo, kama lusa wa bola wa tubita dolo. Kumana ufacha free trade, zimezi za mwalimu, dawa tuzitenga tuzite kwa kamacha. Another disadvantage is degradation of natural resources. Degradation of natural resources. Emerging markets often don't have many environmental protections. Emerging markets often don't have many environmental protections or environmental protection mechanisms in place. They are always vulnerable to exploitation in emerging economies. Deep in the village, and also the challenges in Jogo. Then a company again for a discipline, which I will add the manufacturer of Maniva, and Mangi and Kumba mining Bolivar. Normally, the local communities are not strong enough, do not have the power or mechanisms of checking the activities of these ones. Certainly, they are also exploited easily because of their weaknesses, economic weaknesses, and everything. So, even at the country level, the same applies. So, free trade leads to the degradation of timber, minerals, and other natural resources. So, deforestation and street mining reduce their jungles and fuels to wastelands. So, that is another disadvantage of this kind of a situation that will go free trade arrangement, the free trade agreements. Those are some of the disadvantages. So much as we are not limited to what we are discussing here, is there anything that people think that we can add as a weakness also of free trade? Apart from the last one that we are seeing, degradation of natural resources. Degradation of natural resources.
What was the first one?
We saw reduced tax revenue, poor working conditions, and the other one, problem of domestic industry, theft of intellectual property, increased job outsourcing. Increased jobs outsourcing. So, any other that we think can also fit in as a disadvantage of this. Degradation of natural resources. And what else? How about environmental degradation? Not degradation of natural resources, but environmental degradation. In this case, we're talking about even the air itself and the water resources and all that. They also being degraded with the coming of the same that we say. For example, if companies are coming from elsewhere to operate in your area, they come with them probably some technologies that can even bring harm to the environment. Some of such situations can be to do with emissions. They come in here, they open a factory here, but now the emissions that they emit into the atmosphere can be harmful. Others, they are opening their mining activities here. With the mining activities, there can be some other chemicals that can contaminate the environment, say water, the air, and even soil. For example, we heard stories of what was happening in Kayakera and Kawa. They said those people were drilling uranium. They had some chemicals that were suspected to have been dumped into Lake Malawi or somewhere around there. So there were those fears that these area guys are going to harm us because of their chemicals that they are dumping or disposing of. So that one can also be carried as a problem. We had an issue to do with Lake Malawi oil drilling project, oil exploration project some years back. After some companies were awarded exploration licenses, some people took action in protesting that, and their concerns were saying that we are not safe, our water in Lake Malawi is not going to be safe, and of course the aquatic life in the Lake Malawi will be affected. So that is another example of environmental degradation.
So that case isn't true. That Lake Malawi is why?
Okay, that is true, but it is not so certain as for the quantities that are there. But the oil is there, but is located very, very deep. Okay, we have this what we call the seabed, right? That's what I had actually. This is the land, and that is the land, and this is the depth of the lake. That is. So now they say where the oil deposits were identified, it was somewhere underneath here. So underneath the seabed. So to drill this oil here, you have to put those what we call oil rigs, those machinery from the surface here deep down up to the seabed. But now the quantities that are down here are not so much. According to the explorers, they say the quantities are not so much. Now let's compare the value of the deposits that are here and the value of putting up this machinery and this operations would not match. It's way expensive to put up those ones, and to drill the oils without affecting the water around here, it is always very difficult, and there was no guarantee that there will be protection. So, to answer the question, the oil deposits are there, but the quantities are not so much comparing to the operations that are there. I got this information after I was reading the report of one of the latest companies to surrender their licenses, because most of the companies that were given licenses, they surrender their licenses back to the government. They say, no, I think we still want it. Of course, there were a number of reasons, but company money is there to surrender their license. Was it a sure stream or something like that? They cited those challenges. They said, the oil deposits that are here are very limited. Very limited, but now the operations to put up these machinery and operations are way expensive and difficult. The other thing being, Lake Malawi is very deep. The areas around Kirumba, somewhere around there in Karonga, that's where the oil deposits are mostly found, but that's the deepest part of the lake, because around Kirumba area, Lake Malawi is deep. It's as deep as 700 meters or somewhere around there going down. So when you're talking about 700 meters going down, think about the kind of machinery that whether they are pipes and structures that you can put through whenever. Then 700 meters, capacity pants. Then whenever you come about that drill capacity, it's not that easy. And again, the quantities that are there, you're not so sure. They are not that much. So that company, it should be sure they abandon the project. They don't have services. So yeah, the oil deposits are there, but not very much impressive as maybe they are in some other countries. Yeah, so another thing is that one contaminating the water in what if we stop there anyway? For now, up until we meet next time. So
we will continue this course on Sunday.
Oh yes, yeah, on Sunday. Yeah, we'll continue Sunday. And here we have lesson number 1 and number 2. Probably Sunday we'll have lesson number 3. Then we try to transfer this one. This one will continue this time. Oh yeah, that's one. Let me transfer it. I'm sending the book just now. Yeah, we have Moro. It's neat. It's neat. Salvation the first nation. Or maybe you have some other classes in the family. Moro and from the living.
I don't know. I have one.
There is one. When is going to wait?
Everyone 12 o'clock?
Yeah, no, not with every 12 o'clock. We also need to rest. But if we postpone it, then you can tell me when to wait. In here, I'm here, but I'm going to place you because.
On Sunday, when I started at the company.
Okay, because if it is Sunday.
So I'm going to check Sunday is about 12 to 1 to 3. We can just listen to 4.
Okay. Okay, wait. Okay, let's do it. Let's agree, right? On Sunday, what are your timings like?
On Sunday, just 10 to 12.
Basically, Mao were supposed to have one. Like because we found that we were so even if you are Saturday, even if you are even if you Saturday this Sunday, Masuba to win now current guys, to win up with guys. To win up 24. Now, see, I roll plus the other who want to Saturday morning Sunday, I will get. I'm on the then plus you want to be every quarter can be 4. Now, 4 are really wanting after 1. That is the that. How is the something now? How is the government sign? That is the 4. What do you think? Command the attending that. Command your
this weekend, Saturday, free.
Friday, free. Okay. Saturday, it's not very much. Saturday, in the own teaching time, we get 10 o'clock. Onwards. Saturday, 10 o'clock onwards. Mama in the class. But from 10 o'clock, we can continue. Then, in that one, we have how many can you manage? Can you manage to have 2?
Now.
Yeah. So I don't know. Then it's Sunday again. I wish. How about you? Saturday. What do you think? What are you trying to say? Because you should not compete for your commitments also, right? What do you think?
That's okay.
What is it?
As I check my schedule, my brother check the.
Okay, I'm away. How about the Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday I'm okay.
Sunday, okay.
Sunday I'm free.
Okay, Sunday you're free from what time to what time?
From 8 o'clock to.
Onwards. Sunday you're free from what time to what time?
Everything the same, yeah, free.
Okay, so let me wait back to now. In here I have time now, from 10 o'clock onwards. So, my time is up. You please update us, maybe by my blog. So they don't remind us of yeah, tika na kwa nini tukanga wili that would be much better for us. Wow. Could you request on 10 to 12, then 12 to 1 over? I mean 1 to 2 o'clock. At 2, 2:30 o'clock. That was away. That we do it. Sundays, but we are safe at us. Sunday as we are. Come you try to review your times. Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's I'm going to send you and the ones discussing the money. I'm sending you here. But when is that assignment?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Alright, please take care. Yes, Popo. Popo. Itakuya kwa WhatsApp. Kwa WhatsApp ba? Yes, very well. Okay. Siku likutaba. Alikutaba hilo. Baba ndio wewe kwa sode. But so okay. You know actually mafunzika ije. So my students and I've been from that to Jiga Masana. So we were supposed to have a class from 1 o'clock to 3. 1 to 3, 8 hours. They want time to have a program to get us back into the class. But I'm doing say about our class meeting. You know, that's more about Komano ndivile zili tukulindia uzalanda walikuwa ni watu kwa machana. Mimi kwa chama wani half to 1 o'clock na tutaka au ndiveza tuite town. Agao kule zina kufuna basi tika leo tisimile. Wandote kabla ile mtika kapsho. Ndoza wandote. Okay. Lunch uzola. Ngai zote. Ini tuh makan ini makan mujeza. Ini ngare jaya lunch makan mujeza kan. Asasa ko ni. Okay, mimi bora kwenda kwa mujeza. Wangu mujeza sana, ndio au sababu ya yangu zote ndio na wengi kwa ndio mtiri. And if I'm of course, never say one of the I know what must have been kind of share it. Do nikani robo na swete ndika nenda mandika kwa hapo je kwa ndio maana kaya ndio hiyo transfer nikani ndio hizo zote hadi share hizo zote era timati boss ndoza ngatasa ngasa because nenda jali tonda mama ndio sio ndati pole ndozi ali nchiro yako mwenzi wewe ndio mazuri ndikati mote ndikuti zikhamote. So ababa ndakataula kuti ndazisi ya ntchito ndozi ntchito iyo inde kutasoma koma iso kibasi have no choice tisaipanga hawa timati kwa standard wafa timati kwa standard kwa la simulika mstari simulika mstari tu wala bila si ai bila mstari mmoja mstari student mara sinzia ngo jamu nzunga ina sinzia ngo it's okay. Nika chibongo chitapanga na I'm waiting ya. I'm waiting chitapanga na I'm waiting. Okay, jambo ndilo meza tuone tena ndio kuzama kwa mpango. Umetoa na masanga na